Welcome back, everyone. I'm Robin from This Blog's Neat, and last week I tasted just two. And last week I tasted two different Jamaican rums that Jerry's dad, named Jerry, had picked up for me at the Jamaica duty-free, the Jamaica airport duty-free. And one of those was Charley's JB. This is an overproof, kind of white rum, and Scott from Different Spirits, the YouTube channel, if you haven't checked out his channel, definitely do that. He requested that I taste the Charley's JB alongside a few other white overproof Jamaican rums. So that's what I'm gonna do. Wish my palate good luck. And I'm going to actually blind taste these. So I've put little samples in 4 different glasses that are labeled on the bottom, 1 through 4. I'm gonna have Jerry come down and mix these up for me, and then I'm gonna taste them, and I'll tell you which one I like the most, which one I like the least. Hopefully I'll be able to make that decision, and yeah, at the end I'll reveal which one was which. But yeah, let me have Jerry come mix these up for me. What an entrance. Okay.
Are you going to show the people?
Away. No.
Can I show them?
If you want to. I'll taste them. Which order do you want me to taste them in? Are you even mixing them up?
Not yet, no.
Are you dressed like you're going to Jamaica?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll taste them this way. I'll go left to right.
Okay.
Okay. So you can show them what the bottom is. What number, I guess. I don't hear you mixing them up, are you?
Shh.
Will you also smell them as you go and tell us what you think of each one as you smell them? Like, which one do you like the most on the nose?
Well, I touched them all.
Are you done mixing them up?
Yeah. Oh. Mmm. I definitely like the first one the best. It seems like, yeah.
Okay.
It's got a lot of flavor. But they all smell really good. I don't want to give away too much, corroborate your thoughts too.
You're not going to corroborate my thoughts.
Good luck.
Okay, so I'm going to taste these left to right, and I don't know which one's in which glass, but I will tell you the 4 different Jamaican rums that I'm going to taste. So number 1, wherever that is in this mix, is Rum Fire. I have recommended Rum Fire to a lot of people who want a taste of what a high ester, overproof, unaged Jamaican rum can be. This is the Rum Fire label. Now, of course, what's in here is no longer clear. That's because I oak infused it, and that's why I now have little samples of all of these, is because I took samples of the white spirit and oak infused the other ones. But anyways, this is the label. Like, there's flames on it. It's pretty crazy. And it's not really a label that looks very approachable. It's also a twist top, and you should be able to find Rum Fire for like $25 in the US. And Rum Fire is produced by Hampden Estate. It's at 63% ABV. Hampden is one of those distilleries that confirms that they use dunder and muck in their fermentations, along with long duration fermentations. And this is what gives it such a crazy high ester profile. Now, if you've never had Jamaican rums before and you're like, what are esters? Who is ester? Esters are these chemical compounds that are responsible for these really, really pungent, fruity, floral aromas that you get on the nose and also on the palate. And esters are present in all different spirits as well as wine and beer, and they play a huge role in the sensory aspect of alcoholic beverages. The production method used in Jamaica really emphasizes the ester production. And I'm not going to go into full detail during this video because otherwise it would be like a full hour-long video, but I do have some other videos that discuss the dunder and muck that's used in Jamaican rum. You can check out that video here. And I will also post another video coming up where I'll actually dive into some of the microbiology and stuff like that. We'll nerd out a little bit. But anyways, so number one, which again, I don't know which of the four is, number one is Rum Fire. Number two is Wray and Nephew white overproof. I don't know why I'm showing you the little vial as if that's like helpful at all. So this is the Wray and Nephew bottle. Maybe you've seen it. Also should be around $20, $25. It's also sitting at 63% ABV. This is produced by Wray and Nephew Limited, and the distilleries that fall under the Wray and Nephew Limited umbrella are Appleton and New Yarmouth. Number three is the Funk. This is the bottle, by the way. Again, it should be clear, but I oak infused it. It's not a fun label. And the Funk is from Worthy Park, or is said to be from the Worthy Park Distillery. And this is sitting at 50% ABV. So I don't know if it technically falls under, actually I do know for certain. This doesn't technically fall under the overproof category, but I threw it in anyways. And if you want to hear more about proof, I'm pretty sure I have a video you can watch right here, but proof would technically be 54% ABV, somewhere around there. So I guess anything over proof is anything over 54% ABV. This is at 50. It's all right. I'm gonna taste it anyways. And of course, the fourth thing that I will be tasting, which is number four, again, I don't know where it lies in these glasses, is the Charley's JB, which I tasted last week. This is also at 63% ABV. Let's dive in. Let's see how long my palate can hold on to tasting these high ester Jamaican rums. Now, before I dive into the first one, I do want to give a huge shout out to the Patreons. Thank you guys so much for helping to support the channel. I really, really appreciate you guys. And if you, the viewer, would also like to join us, I've got a link in the description below. I would appreciate your support. And if you want to support the channel in other ways, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share this video with friends, and of course, watch more of my videos. So let's dive into the first one on the left. I'm getting a lot of syrupy dried fruits. I'm getting a lot of figs, dried figs, but they're like soaked in a syrup. There's a lot of citrus on here as well, some pineapple. There's something in here that's like almost like a mango, if a mango and maybe an apricot had a baby. There's also like a bit of a like vanilla waxiness to this, like a vanilla candle. And there's definitely like pineapple tops. Like, I don't know what the leaves of the pineapple are called, but there's some of that coming through. So like almost like a grassiness, but a lot more of like a thick grassiness that's attached to a fruit. This is really fun and really fruity. There's a bit of a pepperiness in here, like a serrano pepper. Oh my gosh. This mouthfeel is so oily. It's so nice. There's definitely heat. These are all 63% except for the Funk. Definitely some heat. But right away, it's just a burst of juicy, juicy fruits. Lots of juicy figs. Almost like a fig jam. Super, super juicy. There's dates in there. There's some prunes, like syrupy prunes in there. Dried apricots. It's interesting that there's like a lot of dried syrupy fruits for me. And then there's some nice pepperiness, a little bit of like a bug spray thing on the finish, but I don't hate it. And then some of that grassiness comes forward at the very end. This is like nice, sweet crabgrass. Should I go for a second sip? Maybe. Maybe not. Second sip has a lot more of those like not even over ripened fruits. They were like perfectly ripened fruits. It was a nice fruit medley at a picnic, but it is the end of the day. That has been left out all day long. There's pineapple and there's watermelon rind left in there, and it has just been soaking in its juices, and it's hot and starting to ferment. That's what I'm getting, like a little bit of like, yeah, fruit's gone bad. All right, let's move on to the second one. Second one seems a lot more gentle. So yeah, the first one was a nice, whew, started with a bang. Second one, a lot more gentle. Okay. This one is a lot more of like a light citrus as well as some grassiness. As far as the citrus goes, I'm getting key lime, the zest of the key lime. This one has a nice rose bush nose, and there is also some waxiness here. I'm getting a little bit of coconut sunscreen, like the spray. Okay, there's some cinnamon, the cinnamon pine cone thing. Like, yeah, like almost red hot cinnamon, not quite cinnamon bark, but like almost an artificial cinnamon. Oh, there's like almost like an apple pie thing, but just the filling. This one is a lot more spice forward. There's a little bit of heat, I'd say less than the first one. And the mouthfeel also takes a while to like build up to that nice creaminess. So it's not quite as silky as the first one, but I'm getting a lot more spices, a lot more baking spices on the palate. So you have your cinnamon and your cloves, definitely a little bit of star anise, but I'm also getting some fruits on the palate as well. This is more like fresh figs. So the fruits are like no longer dried fruits, and I'm gonna have to go in for another sip. So there's that citrus that comes forward as well. Again, it's like the zest. This is leaning a little more lime and a little more bitter grapefruit peel. And there is, I kind of will take back the heat thing. There is like a nice lingering heat to this. And I think that's why it takes so long to build up in the viscous mouthfeel. But yeah, the heat kind of starts off low and then creeps its way up. There's also a little bit of a bug spray thing on the palate here. A little less fruity than the first one. And I will say I prefer the first one more to this one. Okay, so the third one that I'm tasting. Okay, we're back to funky fruits. This one's a lot more overripe banana. Like that banana is brown. Okay, there's still some of that artificial cinnamon in this one. This one's more like red hots, but so much banana. There might be some green plantains in there too. There's a little bit of like a just straight like powdered sugar thing. There's some good vanilla in here too. It's like a fresh, like, yeah, fresh vanilla bean. And like a beeswax. This one also has a bit of that grassy thing. This more like rained on grass. This one's a lot more anise and allspice as far as the spices go. This also has a lot of dates and also like golden raisins on the palate. There's a little less heat, it's a little bit thinner, but yeah, that spiciness is really nice. Now on the nose, that like licorice thing comes through. There's that fresh rained on grass thing too. And there's some charred pineapple towards the finish. Definitely some cinnamon and some black pepper. So I think I like that one better than the second, but I think I still like the first the best. Whew, okay, my palate is getting very tired. So I think Scott over at Different Spirits, he did a very similar lineup here. It was Rum Fire, Wray Nephew, Charley's JB, and instead of the funk, he had Rum Bar. I'm very impressed by his palate and being able to make it through 4 that are all overproofs. This is a challenge. Yeah, I usually tap out at 3 spirits, and I like to really spread them out and take my time with them. And before I taste the last one, I will say that when you're tasting spirits, it really, really depends on the order of which you taste them when you're tasting a variety of them. What you have first will impact what you have second and third, etc. So keep this in mind. If my tasting notes are not matching your tasting notes because you're not tasting all 4 of these in the same exact order in the same room as me, that's probably why. Yeah, that's all. I think that's all. Okay, last but not least, I don't know which one this is. Okay, this one's a lot more citrusy. This has orange, lemon, and I'm also getting like a pine sol thing. There's also a little like brown sugar cookie. Yeah, this reminds me a little bit of like cleaning spray. This one also, as compared to the first and third, I think has a little bit of a lighter nose. I'm getting more of an herbal thing that kind of goes along with like the pine sol thing. There's definitely some rosemary, and I feel like there's some like tomato leaves and some fresh thyme as well. There's also a light wildflower honey, and I'm getting some fresh paint now. Wonder if they're painting outside. This also reminds me of like a shoe store, like Payless. So some of that like, I don't know, new rubber sole smell. And there's a little bit of a floral thing. I can't quite pinpoint, but yeah, a little bit floral. This has some really nice fruit on the palate. There's not a lot of heat, and the mouthfeel stays kind of meh. It doesn't get super oily. I'm getting some more fresh figs again, as well as some like very green banana, like just barely yellow, just barely ripe enough to eat. And there's a lot of spice on this. So with it being white rum, I am getting a lot more like woodiness, almost a mulchy thing, but like a really dark mulch. And there's a lot more of this like pepper spice, allspice, clove coming forward. On the nose, there's some like really good honeydew melon now. That's nice. This also has some cinnamon. Oh, what was that fruit? I missed it. There was a fruit that went by real quickly. This one, I think I like a little bit more than the second one, and maybe a little bit less than the third one. So I think I've made my decision. The one I liked the most was the first one I tried. And then second place, I'll put the third one that I tried. And then third place, the last one. And fourth place, the second one I tried. So I'm excited to see which one I like the most. But let's start with the one that I liked the least. So the second one that I tried was number 2. Oh, Wray Nephew. Oh, I am surprised by this. I don't know why I'm surprised by this, but Wray Nephew. So my least favorite out of the 4 of these was Wray Nephew. This one. Interesting. Okay. Then the fourth one I tried, right? That was my second to last favorite. That one was number 3, the Funk. Okay, all right, so the Funk right here. So that one, I could have guessed, yeah, that one was the 50% just because of the heat profile. It was much less than the other 3. But all right, in second place, did I pick Charley's JB as my favorite? In second place, number 1, Rum Fire. I picked Charley's JB as my favorite. I don't know why I'm shocked by this. Maybe because other people on the internet are like, meh, whoa, okay. First place, Charley's JB. And I'll tell you why I picked it for first place. I'll tell you why. And you probably guessed based on my tasting how I was doing my judging, that I had zero plan going into this how I was going to judge them or anything like that. But what I'm looking for when it comes to a white overproof Jamaican rum is I want all the funky fruits. I want all of them. Yeah. So that's what I'm looking for. So these were pretty much scored or ranked in order of fruitiest to least fruity relative to this pack. So, wow, I'm so surprised. I would have thought, well, no, I don't know. I don't know why I'm surprised, but I am surprised that Charley's JB ranked first. It was $13. The other ones are also very cheap, like $25. But yeah, a $13 bottle. Wow. And being that it's also produced by Wray Nephew, I would have thought that like Wray Nephew would also be like a close second or something. Yeah, that was surprising. If you have tasted any of these rums, let me know what you think about them in the comments below. And if you've also tried Charley's JB, do you rank it best among all the other white overproof Jamaican rums? I'm still shocked by this. Did you already switch the numbers on the bottom? I mean, all of these are great. So I highly recommend, if you're like trying to dabble in the high ester Jamaican rum world, definitely start with a white overproof for sure. You can start with it in cocktails. It'll ease you into that funkiness, and choose any of the ones that I've tried today. Honestly, I think they're all great. And like I said, if you want to nerd out a little bit more, stay tuned, because I will have a video in the future that's going to break down the actual like metabolic pathways that yeast and bacteria use that results in these crazy, funky flavor profiles in high ester Jamaican rums.